Most people think aging is inevitable, but what if I told you that your mindset and how you approach life could actually make you feel younger, longer? Most people don't realize that their emotions, the way they react to stress, and the way they view the world are the very things that cause them to age faster. Does it ever feel like life's challenges are weighing you down? Do you find yourself getting frustrated over things you can't control, or feeling overwhelmed by stress and anxiety? Well, this is exactly what ages us mentally and physically. Today, I'll show you how to use the wisdom of Stoicism to transform your approach to life, stress, and aging, so you can look and feel younger than everyone else, no matter your age. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have access to a secret Stoic practice that can completely shift your mindset and help you unlock a level of mental and emotional resilience that keeps you youthful. Stoic Secret 1. The Power of Perception. How your mind shapes your age. We often hear the phrase, age is just a number, but how many of us truly believe it? It sounds like a motivational quote that we recite when we're trying to convince ourselves that age doesn't matter. But the truth is, many of us still tie our identity to our age, believing that with age comes inevitable decline, whether mentally, physically, or emotionally. Stoicism teaches us something radically different. It teaches us that our perception, how we see ourselves, how we react to life's challenges, and how we interpret the passage of time, has the power to shape how we age, both in our minds and our bodies. The Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, were masters of controlling their perceptions. They understood that our internal dialogue and the way we view the world directly affect our mental state and overall well-being. Marcus Aurelius often wrote in his meditations about the power of perception, emphasizing how our thoughts dictate how we feel and how we experience life. When we perceive aging as something negative, it creates a chain reaction: stress, frustration, and a deep sense of powerlessness. These emotions do more than just affect our mood, they affect our health, speeding up the aging process. Take a moment and reflect. How often do you catch yourself thinking about the things you cannot change? Whether it's the inevitability of aging, the weight of life's uncertainties, or the challenges that arise unexpectedly, these thoughts can slowly erode your inner peace. You might think about how life is slipping by, or worry about the signs of aging. Maybe you're afraid that your best years are behind you, or that time is running out. These types of thoughts can consume us, making us feel older, worn down, and incapable of achieving our goals. But here's the powerful realization: you have the ability to shift your perception, to change how you view the world and yourself. When you make the conscious choice to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your attitude, your actions, everything begins to shift. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we can always control how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The moment you take responsibility for your own perception, you begin to reclaim your power and youthfulness. Think about this. What if you viewed every challenge that comes your way as an opportunity to grow, rather than an obstacle to your happiness? What if, instead of seeing aging as a loss, you saw it as a natural and beautiful progression, a chance to gain wisdom, experience, and resilience? What if you embraced each new year as a step forward in your personal growth, rather than something to fear? By doing this, you transform the way you experience life. You start to age, not just gracefully, but energetically. With this mindset, you understand that aging doesn't have to be synonymous with decline. It can be a time of becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you change the very way you perceive aging itself. You realize that it's not about avoiding time's passage, but about accepting it with grace and purpose. You can feel youthful no matter your age, because youthfulness is not a number. It's a state of mind. Remember, what you think about, you bring about. If you focus on growth, vitality, and resilience, you will begin to feel more vibrant, no matter how many birthdays pass. So, now that we've explored how perception shapes our reality and influences our experience of aging, let's dive deeper into something even more powerful: the acceptance of impermanence. The Stoics believed that true peace comes when we let go of the need to control everything around us, and instead, embrace life's constant changes. Let's explore how accepting the impermanence of life can actually help us live with more vitality, energy, and inner peace. Stoic Secret 2. Embracing impermanence, letting go of the need for control. The need to control every aspect of our lives can be overwhelming, and it's one of the most significant sources of stress and anxiety. We tend to believe that if we control everything, whether it's our schedule, our relationships, or even our environment, we can create a sense of certainty and avoid discomfort. But here's the hard truth: we can't control everything, and trying to do so often leads to more suffering than relief. Life, by nature, is impermanent. It changes, people change, and circumstances constantly shift. This constant flux is not something to fear, but something to embrace. When we try to control the uncontrollable, like the weather, traffic, or other people's actions, it only leads to frustration. Think about how often you feel frustrated by things you can't change. Have you ever gotten upset because it started raining on your day off, or because someone cut you off in traffic? These moments can feel overwhelmingly irritating, but the reality is, they are completely beyond your control. This is where Stoicism offers a profound lesson. We may not be able to control external events, but we can control how we react to them. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoics, famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This simple but powerful wisdom empowers us to let go of the need to control things that are beyond our reach, and in doing so, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress. Letting go of control doesn't mean we become passive or irresponsible. Quite the opposite, in fact. Embracing impermanence is not about giving up our efforts or our responsibility, but about understanding that peace comes when we release the need for rigid expectation. The more we accept change, the more we accept that nothing is permanent, the more resilient we become. Change isn't an enemy, it's a constant companion in the human experience, and when we stop fighting it, we experience true freedom. By learning to live with this acceptance, we reduce the weight of stress on our minds and bodies. We allow ourselves to age more gracefully, without the constant tension of trying to hold on to what's slipping away. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds good, but how do I actually start letting go? The first step is awareness. Take a look at your life. Notice where you're trying to control things that are outside of your control. Is it in your work life, where you try to micromanage every little task? Is it in your relationships, where you attempt to influence other people's behavior or emotions? Maybe it's in your health, trying to control every aspect of your diet and exercise routine, fearing anything less than perfection. Once you identify these areas, the key is to start small. Practice letting go of one thing at a time. As you let go, you will notice a shift in how you feel. You'll feel lighter, more at peace, and, believe it or not, younger. Because stress and worry are often the true culprits behind aging, both mentally and physically. But embracing impermanence isn't just about letting go of control, it's also about learning to live in harmony with nature. Stoicism teaches us to flow with the natural rhythms of life, to live according to nature's plan rather than fighting against it. This brings us to the next crucial lesson: the importance of aligning with nature's pace, something that brings us both vitality and clarity. Let's dive into how living in harmony with nature can transform your life and keep you youthful for years to come. Stoic Secret 3. Living in harmony with nature, the key to physical and mental health. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is to live in harmony with nature, both the world around us and our inner nature as human beings. This idea is central to Stoic teachings and is deeply connected to the concept of balance. Life is not meant to be fought against or endured with resistance. It is to be lived in accordance with the natural order. The Stoics believed that when we align our actions with the natural rhythms of life, we experience greater peace, resilience, and a sense of vitality that keeps us youthful and energized. Take a moment to reflect. How often do we live out of sync with nature? From the rush of modern life to the overwhelming pressures we place on ourselves, it's easy to forget that we are, at our core, part of nature. Our lives have become so fast-paced that we barely take a moment to notice the world around us. We are biological beings, and like everything in nature, we are subject to cycles of energy, health, and even aging. The more we ignore these natural cycles, the more disconnected we feel from ourselves and the world. The Stoics remind us that we should not fight these cycles, but instead, embrace them. By recognizing and aligning with the natural flow of life, we not only honor the world around us, but also foster a deeper sense of well-being, both mentally and physically. Think about it. How often do you find yourself pushing through exhaustion, neglecting your body's signals for rest, or ignoring your need for balance in your life? This disconnection from nature's rhythms can lead to stress, burnout, and physical decline. But when we choose to live in harmony with nature, we begin to nurture ourselves more deeply. We start to feel more in tune with our body's needs, our environment, and even our own emotions. The result is greater mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical vitality. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "Nature herself teaches us that we are born to serve others and live in harmony with the whole universe." This teaching speaks directly to our interconnectedness with the world. We are not separate from nature. We are an integral part of it. When we live in alignment with the natural world, we honor our true selves, creating a balanced and healthy life. By doing so, we naturally cultivate resilience, both mental and physical. This balance allows us to withstand the effects of stress, aging, and burnout, helping us live longer, healthier, and more vibrant lives. So, how can we start living more in harmony with nature? Begin by reconnecting with the earth around you. Spend time outdoors, breathe in fresh air, take a walk, and truly appreciate the natural beauty that surrounds you. Allow yourself to be fully present in the moment. Pay attention to your body's natural rhythms, such as your sleep cycles, hunger, and energy levels. When you align with these natural signals, you'll start to feel more centered and energized, just as nature intended. You'll begin to notice how the simple act of being outside, feeling the sun, or walking through the trees can recharge you. But it's not just about the outside world, it's about your internal nature as well. Tune into your emotional and physical needs with the same mindfulness. If your body is telling you it's tired, give it rest. If your mind is overwhelmed, take a break. The Stoics believed that by respecting both the external world and our inner world, we create harmony that supports our long-term well-being. As you begin to align yourself more with nature's rhythms, you'll notice something remarkable. You'll feel more alive, more youthful, and more connected to your surroundings. There's a deep sense of peace that comes when you stop fighting against the natural flow of life. But there's another critical element that contributes to maintaining your vitality: self-discipline and moderation. By embracing these Stoic practices, you can further guide yourself toward agelessness and true mental resilience. Stoic Secret 4: Self-discipline and moderation, the Stoic path to agelessness. When we think about the secret to maintaining youthful energy, it often comes down to one crucial principle: moderation. We live in a world where excess seems to be the norm. Whether it's overindulging in food, working too many hours, or allowing our emotions to run wild, we often get caught up in extremes. The Stoic philosophers understood that true peace, vitality, and even youthfulness come from self-discipline and living a life of moderation. Excessive indulgence in any area of life doesn't just drain our energy, it leads to mental fatigue and physical wear, aging us faster than we'd like to admit. Think about it. Have you ever experienced burnout? Have you ever felt physically drained or mentally overwhelmed because you've overextended yourself? We often fall into this trap without even realizing it. The Stoic wisdom teaches us that we must become masters of our desires and impulses. The key to youthful living lies not in indulgence, but in learning how to moderate our wants and needs. It's about balance and knowing when enough is enough. Let's consider food, for example. How often do we overeat, eating more than our bodies truly need, simply because we're stressed, bored, or indulging in a momentary craving? The Stoics encouraged a lifestyle of simplicity, feeding our bodies what they need, not what our appetites demand. By eating in moderation, we maintain not only our physical health, but also avoid the mental and emotional toll that overindulgence brings. When you eat mindfully and with discipline, you prevent the guilt, sluggishness, and stress that follow overindulgence. This simple practice alone can help you feel more vibrant, energized, and yes, youthful. But self-discipline isn't just about food. It extends to every aspect of life. It's about how you spend your time, what you expose your mind to, and how you handle relationships. Every action you take should align with your long-term well-being. Think about your daily habits. Are they helping you achieve your goals, or are they draining you? Are you spending too much time on distractions or things that don't serve your higher purpose? When you practice moderation and self-discipline, you become more intentional with how you live your life, making decisions that lead to greater satisfaction, clarity, and energy. Let's take a look at an example. Imagine a stoic individual who, instead of giving in to every impulse, such as staying up late watching TV or impulsively spending money, chooses to make decisions that benefit their long-term health and well-being. They recognize that true fulfillment doesn't come from short-term pleasure, but from the consistent, disciplined effort toward living a balanced, meaningful life. By practicing this kind of self-control, they avoid the mental fatigue, physical wear, and emotional instability that come from indulgence and excess. They preserve their energy, their focus, and their vitality, which allows them to stay mentally sharp and emotionally resilient. By embracing the Stoic path of moderation, you gain not just physical vitality, but emotional stability as well. You feel more in control of your life, more resilient in the face of challenges, and more focused on what truly matters. These are the key ingredients for maintaining your youth. When you are in control of your habits, your emotions, and your actions, you experience a sense of peace and balance that prevents the stress and overwhelm that can accelerate aging. Now, as you begin to master the art of self-discipline, you'll also discover the power of emotional resilience, another essential Stoic practice for maintaining youthfulness. Emotional resilience helps you navigate life's ups and downs without losing your sense of peace or purpose. Let's explore how building emotional resilience can help you stay strong and youthful, no matter what life throws your way. Stoic Secret 5. Emotional Resilience, the secret to aging gracefully. Emotional resilience is one of the most valuable traits we can develop. It's the ability to bounce back from life's challenges without letting them wear us down. In a world where stress and emotional turbulence are almost inevitable, the Stoics teach us how to build emotional strength that keeps us grounded and youthful. Emotional resilience isn't just about toughing it out or getting through difficult times. It's about understanding that our emotional reactions are within our control, even when external circumstances feel completely out of our hands. Every day, we encounter setbacks, whether it's a difficult conversation with a colleague, the loss of something or someone important, or even the frustration of dealing with traffic or work stress. It's easy to get swept away by these emotions, letting them control how we feel and behave. But the Stoics understood something profound. Emotions are not inherently bad. They are simply a natural part of being human. The key is not to suppress them, but to manage them in a healthy way. As Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the essence of emotional resilience, understanding that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. Take a moment to think about the last time you felt overwhelmed by an emotion. Maybe it was anger, sadness, or anxiety. Did you let that emotion take over and dictate your actions? Or did you acknowledge it, sit with it, and then choose how to react? The Stoics believed that by mastering our emotional responses, we maintain mental clarity and inner peace, no matter what life throws at us. When we don't let our emotions control us, we protect ourselves from the wear and tear that comes from constant emotional stress. This, in turn, helps prevent the premature aging of both our minds and bodies. The Stoics weren't advocating for emotional suppression. Instead, they were teaching us to understand our emotion, to make space for them, and then to choose how to react. It's about being proactive, not reactive. So how can we start developing emotional resilience? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to your emotional triggers, whether it's stress at work, disagreements with loved ones, or that nagging self-doubt that creeps in when you least expect it. These triggers are signals that it's time to pause and reflect. Once you recognize what sets off your emotional reactions, you can begin to manage them more effectively. Take a moment the next time you're in an emotional situation. Pause, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, how would a Stoic respond here? This simple practice of pausing before reacting gives you the opportunity to choose a more measured, calm response. By practicing this, you protect your mental well-being, allowing you to feel more in control, more youthful, and more grounded. Emotional resilience is an ongoing practice. It's not something you achieve overnight, but the more you cultivate it, the stronger and more youthful you will feel. With each practice of emotional control, you build your capacity to handle life's stresses with grace and strength. This resilience doesn't just contribute to your mental health, it lays the foundation for something else crucial in staying youthful: having a sense of purpose. Living with a clear sense of purpose helps to keep our emotions in check and gives us direction in life, providing deeper fulfillment and energy. Let's move on to discover how living with purpose not only keeps you emotionally strong, but also contributes to your mental and physical well-being. Stoic Secret 6. The importance of purpose. A life filled with meaning keeps you young. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the importance of living with purpose. Purpose isn't just a lofty ideal or something we talk about to sound inspiring. It's the very key to unlocking a life filled with energy, focus, and vitality. When we live with purpose, we feel connected to something greater than ourselves, and this connection becomes a driving force that propels us forward, keeping us youthful, both in mind and body. The Stoics understood that living according to nature's plan and dedicating ourselves to a higher cause or meaning wasn't just beneficial, it was essential for a fulfilling life. Think about it. When you wake up every day with a sense of purpose, everything changes. You no longer face the day with dread or lethargy. Instead, you feel energized, motivated, and excited to tackle whatever comes your way. Purpose gives you a reason to get up in the morning, to face challenges head-on, and to push through obstacles with determination. It acts as your inner compass, guiding you through life. When you're passionate about something, whether it's your work, a personal goal, or a cause that resonates deeply with you, you have a clear sense of direction. This direction fuels your energy, keeps you mentally sharp, and emotionally grounded, allowing you to overcome challenges with resilience. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, as if you're simply going through the motions. This lack of direction can lead to feelings of stagnation, frustration, and a sense of being lost. And over time, this sense of aimlessness can lead to aging, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. When we feel disconnected from purpose, we lose the energy and drive that make life meaningful. We begin to feel older, less motivated, and more drained by the demands of the world around us. The Stoics often spoke of the importance of aligning our actions with our values and finding purpose in everything we do. Marcus Aurelius, for example, believed that each of us has a duty to contribute to the greater good. He encouraged us to make every action meaningful and purposeful, which would, in turn, lead to a life of fulfillment. By finding purpose in our actions, we nourish both our minds and bodies. When we live with purpose, we're not just coasting through life, we're fully engaged in something meaningful, something that drives us to grow, improve, and contribute. This constant pursuit of growth and fulfillment is one of the most effective ways to maintain your youthfulness. So, how do you discover your purpose? The process begins with self-reflection. Take some time to sit with yourself and ask, what is truly important to me? What are the things that make me feel alive? Think about moments when you felt truly energized, when you were at your best. What were you doing? What brought you joy? Once you uncover your purpose, it becomes your guiding star, your compass for making decisions, setting goals, and navigating life. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal development, living in alignment with your purpose will keep you youthful, resilient, and mentally strong. Purpose gives your life meaning and direction, providing the energy you need to thrive. As we now understand the transformative power of purpose, it's time to dive into the next secret, the power of reflection. Reflection isn't just about looking back on the past. It's a tool that helps us stay grounded, focused, and above all, youthful. Let's explore how this simple yet powerful practice can help you maintain your vitality for years to come. Stoic Secret 7. The Power of Reflection. Wisdom for Maintaining Youth. Reflection is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools in the Stoic toolbox. It's about taking a step back from the whirlwind of daily life to examine your thoughts, actions, and experiences with the goal of learning, growing, and improving. The Stoics believed that self-reflection is absolutely key to personal growth and mental clarity. It's how we cultivate wisdom and refine our character. By engaging in reflection, we gain valuable insight into our own behaviors, emotions, and decisions, helping us align ourselves with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. But why is reflection so vital for maintaining youthfulness? Think about how often we rush through life, caught up in the daily grind, without ever pausing to assess where we are or how we're truly doing. Life moves fast, and it's easy to get swept away by obligation, distractions, and the noise of the world around us. However, when we neglect to reflect, we can start to feel disconnected from our sense of purpose and direction. We lose sight of what truly matters. Without reflection, we risk living on autopilot, running on fumes instead of growing. And it's this mindless existence that can age us prematurely, mentally, emotionally, and physically. When we make time for reflection, we gain the clarity to stay connected to our deeper purpose. We evaluate where we are in life, what we've learned, and where we need to grow. This kind of regular self-assessment prevents mental fatigue, as we consciously adapt and adjust to the challenges we face. This mental clarity doesn't just keep our minds sharp, it also shields us from emotional exhaustion, which often leads to burnout and a sense of aging. By reflecting on our experiences, we ensure that we're continuously growing, not just surviving, which helps us feel younger and more energized. One of the most impactful ways to engage in reflection is through journaling. The Stoics were masters of this practice. Marcus Aurelius, for example, kept a personal journal where he recorded his thoughts, reflections, and philosophical insights. His journal wasn't just a record of events, it was a space for him to explore his emotions, understand his motivations, and clarify his values. Writing down your thoughts can be incredibly powerful, allowing you to process your emotions and gain a clearer perspective on your life. By putting your thoughts on paper, you create space to step back and evaluate your actions and decisions. This practice of self-examination is a key component of maintaining mental and emotional vitality, and it's one of the best ways to stay mentally youthful. But journaling is just one way to reflect. Another powerful tool is meditation. Stoic meditation doesn't require you to sit cross-legged for hours. It's about taking quiet moments throughout your day to pause, breathe, and reflect on your thoughts and actions. It can be as simple as taking 5 minutes in the morning, during lunch, or before bed to check in with yourself. In these moments, you can reflect on your choices, your emotional responses, and how you've handled the events of the day. Meditation helps you slow down and reconnect with your inner self. It clears away the clutter and noise, allowing you to maintain mental balance, emotional resilience, and a sense of control, all of which contribute to a youthful, energized life. The practice of reflection also ties directly into emotional resilience. When we reflect on our emotions and experiences, we gain insight into how to better manage them moving forward. Instead of being swept away by the tides of life, by stress, frustration, or anger, we become more intentional in our responses. We choose how to react, not letting our emotions control us. This, in turn, fosters emotional resilience, which is essential for maintaining youthfulness. Emotional resilience is the foundation of a strong, vibrant mind and body. By reflecting on how we handle our emotion, we improve our ability to stay calm, focused, and balanced in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. As you begin to incorporate reflection into your daily routine, you'll find that it not only brings clarity and growth, but it also contributes to a sense of timelessness. It's a tool that helps you stay connected to yourself, grounded in your purpose, and always evolving. Reflection gives you the ability to pause, take stock, and adjust, keeping you mentally sharp, emotionally strong, and physically vital. In the end, reflection is the secret to maintaining the wisdom and resilience that keep you youthful, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Today, we explored how the teachings of Stoicism can be the key to reversing the mental and emotional impact of aging, helping you achieve true inner youth. Through perception, embracing impermanence, aligning with nature, self-discipline, and emotional resilience, you have the power to transform not only how you view aging but also how you feel every day. True wisdom is not in avoiding aging, but in learning to age with dignity and vitality. This is the essence of Stoicism. Now, I ask you, what can you change in your life today to start applying these principles and live a more fulfilling, youthful, and resilient life? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. Like and share with a friend who also needs to discover these Stoic secrets. Let's spread this wisdom together.